Relationship advice. Today I messed up after getting high with my fiancé. Last night, I finally managed to convince my fiancé to smoke weed with me. She's always been anti-420, but now that we're just a few weeks away from getting married and being all grown up and stuff, she's gone full YOLO. Fast forward to me seeing my fiancé high for the first time. She became extremely relaxed and talkative. It was cute at first, listening to her go on and on about life and love. But then things kind of got specific. She mentioned how she never expected to be with someone like me. I didn't even have to encourage her to explain, because the floodgates were already wide open. All those details spilled out without any freaking filter. This is what I learned from my fiancé that I never knew before. 1. Most of her past relationships ended because she was notoriously promiscuous. 2. As per number 1, one of those relationships came to an end after she cheated on her boyfriend, by hooking up with his younger brother, while also cheating on the damn brother with his best friend, who just so happened to be the same sex. 3. I'm the first guy she's had to do the fake orgasm thing with. Apparently, all her exes pushed all the right buttons, whereas I don't. 4. My asthma is a turn off when it comes to S, because she feels like she needs to hold back, so that I don't get too excited and die. 5. All her exes had horse members, of course they did. I'm her first average. Those were some of the key points. I was too traumatized to register whatever else she said afterwards. I don't think I blinked for the rest of the evening. Now for the top comments. I am very curious how this will turn out. Yeah, I'm imagining being in this spot and it's not fun. I'm the type of dude that would probably fixate on this. Not nag about it, but internalize it and keep reliving it over and over again. There's only one option: on the next day have a responsible talk. Something like, "You said some things I wish I didn't hear and were honestly pretty hurtful." This is why I have an absolutely, no questions policy, about previous lovers, their size, ability in the bedroom etc. Hell, even hearing, "My mom loved David," can feel like crap lol. I also don't answer these questions either. As far as they're concerned, everyone I've been with is the best lover, most attractive, funniest etc. etc. There's literally no upside to telling your partner your ex screws better. How could you not fixate on this? As a woman I would never, ever, say these kinds of things to a partner. It's so hurtful. Granted, I'd also never sleep with my boyfriend's brother and best friend. I don't know how a relationship survives this type of conversation. Like what the other Redditors are saying, you should talk about it to her when she's sober. And then give us an update. Weed isn't like alcohol. It doesn't loosen your lips in the same way. I'm thinking being high was an excuse for her to dump all of this on him, and get it off her chest in some way without having to take accountability for saying it afterwards. I promise she remembers the entire conversation and the look of horror on his face when she told him. Put yourself in his shoes and try to imagine. There's no coming back from this, and there shouldn't be. Everyone fixates on the prick thing, but the bigger problem is, she cheated on her boyfriend with his brother. That's a psycho with no regard for anyone but themselves. Anyone entering into a relationship should be with someone who truly loves you, and doesn't settle for you. You must do the same. The most beautiful person in the world is ugly as hell, if they are so damaged they can cheat with the brother of the person they love. Ugh, what a turn off. How could you even stand to give pleasure to someone like that? If you are a quality and honorable person, you are not going to be happy unless you are with someone who also shares those traits. It's important to be at least as hot inside, as you are outside. Sorry bud. You guys can talk it out and whatnot, but the crappy part is, you'll always second guess yourself in bed, which will cause underlying issues in the relationship. Seems their bedroom life was already lacking, if she's faking orgasms and worried about him dying from asthma. WTF? Update. Even though I knew what my fiancé said would haunt me forever, I was willing to bury it in the back of my mind, and pretend like last night never even happened. However, my fiancé wanted to talk. So we did. It was brutal. She said my mom was right about her being wrong for me. Long story short, all of this crap was building up to her admitting she'd been sending nudes to one of her horse member exes. A freaking Chad. I'm emotionally destroyed. It doesn't feel real yet, so I have trouble accepting it's over. But it is. Guess I'm returning that ring and getting a PS5. Appreciate all the advice. Now for the next story. My 37 male fiancé, 37 female, was making inappropriate comments about a colleague on her Zoom drinks night, and supposedly, I'm the bad one for calling it out? So basically, we've been together 11 years and engaged about 6 months. I always thought we were happy. The other night, I was playing Steam and she was having a Zoom drinks night with colleagues. I had my headphones on, so she didn't, and had her colleagues on full volume. They were talking about work, and I guess they started talking about their company, and I heard them talking about this guy, 30s I guess, who they work with. I've met him. He seems okay, But I don't see the appeal, I guess. No one realizes I can hear them, so I hear them talking about this fella. My fiancée basically was saying how sexy he is, and how big she thinks his D is. She was saying things like freaking hell, I bet it's a mouthful, and, God, it looks like he'd hurt if it was in ya, and how she'd give him a wild time. After a while I told her I can hear her. I couldn't help it. She was trying to say it wasn't a big deal, and that I'm the bad guy for listening in on her. Basically, her rationale is that, it's pure fantasy and that I should appreciate we're together and it's pure fantasy. Isn't that effed up? Now for the top advice. I think were the genders reversed, people wouldn't tolerate those kinds of comments. And you're entitled to your feelings around your significant other casually objectifying a co-worker. Not just because it's gross, but also because it hurt you. It was wrong of her to invalidate you in my opinion. Listen to this guy, he is 100% right, and if she still makes you the bad guy then do what she did right in front of her face, and see that witch's reaction. This comment isn't okay for either gender. I'm a woman and I would never talk about a man that way, and if my boyfriend did it, he would be packing his bags. It's just gross behavior and unacceptable. Especially with work colleagues, how on earth is that professional? I get that it was a casual thing, but still, those comments get around and the fiancé could definitely have a harassment complaint at work. I don't think it's okay to vocalize fantasies about people you know in real life, especially in a relationship. I would have a very hard time getting over this. Diffusal of guilt. She knows she was wrong and is trying to flip it over on you. Not cool at all. Yeah, it's a fantasy until he makes a move on her and she takes up the offer. It's disrespectful, and if the roles would be reversed, she'd be upset. Next story is titled, Girlfriend, 22 female, cheated on her ex 20 male, admitted it but I found out on my own. She said she just cheated because she wanted to have S. How do I approach her that none of this makes me feel good, at all? So a while back, I confronted her about her lying by omission that she cheated on her ex. She was the first one to cheat, and she has messaged her best friend things like, he misses me, guess I won't tell him I'm effing, and her name. But when the guy cheated on her and left, she was mad, hurt, like badly. They broke up April 15th, her and I got together May 26th, 2020. At first, she got really defensive and then she tried to justify it by saying he didn't know. But today we were talking, and she admitted she just wanted to have S, and says she has no guilt about cheating on him, but does regret it? I don't know what the hell to do. All this is very worrisome. I've been cheated on before and I don't want to play that game again. She says she'd never cheat on me and at least admits it was wrong to cheat. But the fact she was so hurt when he finally cheated and left, leaves me very worried. How should I approach her that all this is hella worrisome, and has anyone else been in a similar scenario? If it matters, her and I live together, she hides nothing, not even her phone. We are also very into each other. It's a great dynamic, I can totally communicate this to her, but I just want to know how to approach all of this. Now for the top advice. No remorse equals repeat action. Yeah, I'm sitting here next to her just trying to process it all in my notes on my phone. This is the thought plaguing my brain the most. I'm not worried about anything at all, but I'm going to at least communicate all this to her. She's smart enough to know that was a horrible thing to say. Man, listen to what you're saying. Did you guys just bang, or did she blow you or something? You need to take a step back from this. She is just going to continue to talk her way out of this. You are going to continue to be conflicted. It will eat away at you. You will never know if she's completely honest with you. The foundation of your relationship is damaged. I'm not saying it's not possible to repair something like that, but the reality is you're in your early 20s, you're not married, you don't have kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're only staying with her because you're afraid of being alone, and you're afraid you'll never meet anyone else. When what you should really be afraid of is being with someone that lied to you about something so fundamental to your relationship. You should be afraid of staying with them for a long time, further intertwining your lives, deepening the emotional bond that lacks a deep trust. The longer you are with her, the harder it will be for you to leave. If you're already having doubts, as you should be, you know what to do. Doesn't matter if it's a horrible thing to say, it's a horrible way to behave, it's your choice whether you want to be with a person like that. Edit, it's also a little concerning that she cheated and says she's not a cheater, so her telling you she would never cheat on you, doesn't hold much weight. If you haven't set boundaries around acceptable behavior yet, it's time to do so. Yeah, her confidence in saying, I never cheated and never will, is such a freaking blow to the skull, like goddamn that's bothering me. She's young. But it seems lying is a coping mechanism she readily relies on. I dated my ex-wife for 6 years before we got married. About once a year, there was some big secret revealed, like a lie I caught her in. So many times, we almost broke up because of it, but she was always sorry and I loved her, and maybe a bit of the sunk cost fallacy baked in there. Well, after we got married, She wasn't dealing with the stress of grad school and eventually work well. She's starting drinking a lot and hiding it. It was a smaller problem. Things crescendoed and I was ready to divorce. A week later she tells me she's pregnant. To wrap this up, I am currently going through a divorce, single dad of 2 kids. Lying is a horrible coping mechanism, because it allows the person lying to ignore how they feel, their issues and their choices. It is corrosive to any serious relationship. It also shows they do not trust you with the truth, that they don't respect you enough to be transparent, etc. When they are caught lying, it is also more about them getting caught versus them hurting you. Lying is taking the easy way out and shows a complete lack of resiliency. She can't be vulnerable with you. This is on top of the other issue. She lied about infidelity. She lied about breaking the #1 rule of being in monogamous relationship. She lied about being completely untrustworthy in a relationship. It's not like it's bedwetting, or her eating her boogers. She lied about cheating. She is not someone you would want on your team if there was a zombie apocalypse. I would end it. You are young, it may feel like a big deal to move on, but the longer you delay, the worse it will be. Don't make the mistake I did. Wow, I really appreciate your thorough response. It has definitely given me some insight. We have golden communication and there's a lot about our relationship that I didn't share, simply because I wanted to see what people thought when I put it down plain and clear. She has done a lot to prove herself as a trustworthy person, but has also given me a huge thing here to try and understand and move forward from. I don't know where I'm headed, but I'm too lost and weak to walk away honestly. I'm an avid communicator and she's very welcoming of my questions and is very easy to talk to. I really appreciate this, thank you. Now for the last story. 26 female, girlfriend slept with 75% of her guy friends. Red flags? Or insecure? 26 male. Hello, throwaway account. Been dating 2 months, are exclusive but not relationship official. Things are usually great, but there are certain instances that I am trying to figure out or understand if they are red flags or if I am just insecure. 1. She says she's very open and doesn't judge other people, because she doesn't want to be judged. She says life is too short to live with regrets, and who cares what you do when you're single. Believed in casual one-night stands. She says she can't remember all the guys she slept with because she doesn't keep count, and wanted to forget about some of them, but it's under 15. I have been with 8 girls. But she says she considered them all her friends, and that she slept with like 75% of her close guy friends. She says she doesn't talk to them anymore and she haven't slept with any of her current guy friends. She says she just gets along with guys better and has mostly guy friends. 2. She sometimes makes comments on how she finds some celebrities or people she used to know. She's in a sorority, talks about frat brothers, random people, are hot, or if she was single, they could totally get it. She says that was just how she talked when she's single with her friends, and doesn't actually think about having sex with them. And in a relationship, she wouldn't talk like that. 3. She claims to be very touchy-feely to the point where her guy friends asked her friends if she was flirting. She claims it's okay, because she is just friendly, doesn't consider it flirting and would stop if he made a move. 4. She claims she used to be very impulsive, but only on getting body piercings because she finds it hot, but had to hide from parents. She is often on Snapchat and has an Instagram and cares about Snapchat streaks getting 100+ likes on photos. She claims, the only thing she is insecure about is her body, so is the above actions/thinking a way of getting validation? She claims to be very loyal when she's in a relationship, but I'm not sure about the difference in valuing casual/one-night stands versus just for relationships, could be indicators for cheating. We were both cheated on, so both have trust issues. I do want to gain perspective and not try to judge, because she is a great person, and I do see qualities for a long-term relationship, but are these suspicious or red flags, or am I just being insecure/closed-minded? Now for the top advice. She says she can't remember all the guys she slept with, because she doesn't keep count and wanted to forget about some of them, but it's under 15. Okay, cool. But she says she considered them all her friends. LOL, what? She says they were all friends and there were only less than 15 of them, but can't remember them all? Pretty clear she's not telling you everything. She's either embarrassed by the real number for some reason and doesn't want to be honest with you, or she enjoyed hooking up with randoms and wants to downplay that. Her history is her business, but she's clearly giving you a runaround for some reason. And also, if they were her friends, why is she no longer in contact with any of them? She is who she is. You can't change that. What do you want? Figure that out first, and if she doesn't fit your idea of a partner, move on. Never bring people in your life for their potential. You will always be disappointed. Save yourself some trouble and don't get involved. You'll be thinking she's effed every dude you'll meet together. Just save yourself from stress and don't get too serious with her. She claims to be very loyal when she's in a relationship. She has laid, no pun intended, it all out for you. She has told you who she is, so I would assume she is right about being loyal in a relationship. If you can't handle her finding celebrities attractive, you have some work to do on yourself. If she is a great person, these aren't red flags. They are honesty. This doesn't mean he has to work on himself. You are right, she has laid most of it out for him, but if he feels uncomfortable with what he knows about her, it means she is not the ideal kind of partner he is looking for, and not that he needs to work on himself. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. Turn the notification on to get updated on my latest posts. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.